I inherited thousands of acres of private hunting land that belonged to my family for generations. The property sat peacefully in rural Blackwood County, untouched and fully documented in legal county records. After spending years away, I finally returned home to take care of the land. I had no idea the Pinewood Crest HOA had already made ambitious plans. Heavy construction trucks appeared near my northern entrance gate. Heavy machinery echoed through the dense trees early every morning. None of the workers ever asked for my permission. Something illegal was happening on my private land, so I decided to investigate the site. What I discovered immediately shocked me. Luxury cabin foundations stretched across my private hunting land, and HOA development signs were everywhere. I pulled out my official county property deeds for proof. Every legal document clearly showed that I owned the entire parcel. The HOA never purchased a single acre of my land. They simply built on it without verifying ownership. I hired attorney Robert Sterling today. Together, we reviewed every permit and construction document. The HOA's paperwork contained major legal mistakes, and their entire luxury resort development was built entirely upon completely false assumptions. I decided not to stop the construction immediately. Instead, I carefully documented everything happening on my land. Every luxury cabin added more evidence, as their biggest mistake was underestimating me. Construction continued for several months without any interruption. Millions of dollars were invested into the project as the HOA proudly advertised their exclusive resort, unaware of who truly owned the land. Curious neighbors began asking me why I was not stopping the project. I simply smiled and told them I had a plan. Knowing patience is a powerful strategy. The larger the project grew, the larger their crisis. My attorney advised me to let official paperwork speak for itself. Every permit filed by the HOA strengthened my future legal case. County records continued confirming my absolute, undeniable ownership rights. Nearly a year later, 14 luxury cabins stood proudly on my property. The HOA announced its grand opening celebration, and wealthy buyers arrived from across the state. That is when I decided it was time. The grand opening weekend attracted investors and homebuyers. The HOA officials proudly showcased their newest development, celebrating profits that legally belonged to no one but me. But it was about to end. My attorneys filed emergency foreclosure notices with the county clerk. Every document had been thoroughly reviewed, and the legal process officially began that morning, while the HOA had no idea what came next. HOA board members received certified legal notices during their grand opening event. Smiles turned into confusion and panic, and their attorneys rushed to review the documents as the entire crowd fell silent. Their lawyers immediately contacted county officials. Unfortunately for them, county records were perfectly clear. Every single acre legally belonged to me. There was no legal loophole available to save them. HOA leadership offered to purchase the land after discovering their mistake, but their offer came far too late. They had ignored ownership records for nearly a year, so I politely declined their cash proposal. The county temporarily suspended all future property sales. Buyers immediately demanded full refunds, and investors threatened legal action against the HOA as financial chaos spread throughout the development. News stations began covering the unbelievable property dispute, describing it as one of the largest HOA blunders in county history. Cameras filled the event, making the HOA the center of public attention. The HOA's insurance company refused to cover their legal mistakes, and construction losses grew daily. Millions of dollars were suddenly at risk, forcing board members into panic meetings late into the night. My legal team filed additional property claims protecting every structure on my land. Ownership rights extended to every cabin built illegally, and the HOA finally realized the total gravity of their error. County inspectors arrived to evaluate the development, photographing and documenting every cabin. Legal ownership was impossible to dispute, and several furious investors filed lawsuits against the HOA board. Buyers accused them of negligence and fraud, turning their dream resort into a disaster. The court officially recognized my ownership of the entire property, as every document presented strongly supported my claim. Foreclosure proceedings moved forward, and the luxury cabins became assets tied to my property. The HOA attempted one final appeal, but it failed. Sheriff's deputies arrived to enforce court orders right away. Standing on my land once again, I looked across all 14 luxury cabins. Justice prevailed through patience and proper legal action, protecting my family's hunting property for future generations to come.